Hello, everyone. Welcome to a brand new edition of YouTube Take. I'm your friend and your loyal host, Big Red 310, with my friends here.
What's up? Markeem / Nightmare Baller, Nightmare Comics, Nightmare, whatever you would call him.
And the fan of the Super Bowl champion Patriots, yours truly, Nightmare 10, baby. Woo! What's up, guys?
That's also Nightmare88 on Twitter, Nightmare26 on Xbox.
I don't have Xbox Live anymore, son. It killed the gimmick.
All right. Damn. That's unfortunate.
On PlayStation.
Yeah, PlayStation Plus, yeah.
We are here to talk about college football and the regular season football. Sorry we're late. My laptop was just fucking broken.
By the way, in like 30 seconds, I just want to say the Duke Blue Devils are the reigning, defending,
defending.
And that was really important to me, just throwing that out there, because Duke gets dragged through the mud like Phil's Patriots, like the Yankees, like, you know what I mean? Because they're so good, everyone hates them. And that felt really good. That felt really good. I'm not going to lie.
And kid, your team. Oh wait, your team. Yeah. No, it's nothing.
Don't feel too bad, kid. Because outside from Coach K, I can't trust anyone. So yeah, you are correct. Jesus.
This is the year. This is the year where I can celebrate the Dolphins overtopping the New England Patriots. So
yeah, good luck with that.
I'm not upset.
Hey, you have a better chance than the Jets. You got that going for you.
Whoa. I don't know, man.
We'll get to that. All right. Let's do our normal talking about college football, a.k.a. where me and Phil are just going to sit back and we're just going to let Markeem do his thing. We are not going to even bother. I will just be rounding him off with questions. Here's how the system will work. We're going to go over all the Big Five conferences in college football, all the divisions in the NFL. We're going to ask 3 questions for each one. We're going to ask Markeem to summarize the conference, summarize the best and worst teams, then who will surprise, who will disappoint, who will win the division, and move on from there. Simple, concise, to the point. So, let's start it off, Markeem, in our mutual conference, my Miami Hurricanes, your Virginia Tech Hokies, with Clemson and Georgia Tech and FSU, and just, if you could, rapid fire, give your thoughts on the ACC conference and the teams within it.
You brought up the only 3 teams that matter.
All right, go for it. Talk.
Florida State is Florida State. Dalvin Cook's back, even after his, legal troubles. They got Deshaun Watson at Clemson. I think that dude's really good, but we'll see how good this season. And
Golston,
whatever. We'll see. He has a turnover problem, man. I don't know, but
from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, in case you might want to know.
And he got Paul Johnson's Georgia Tech team that shocked everyone last year and won 11 games. I mean, that whole team is back, so who knows? Who knows what they'll do? So I don't know. I know who I think will win, and that's Clemson.
No, don't
that's
say
not
that.
Said with a whole.
Don't
that's
say
not
that.
said with a. But that's not said with a whole lot of confidence. I mean, it is Clemson. They always find some way to fuck things up.
Why Clemson over FSU or Georgia Tech, for example? What separates Clemson?
I'm not ready to say that, Florida State minus a guy like Jameis Winston is just going to go into Death Valley and get that Clemson squad. I'm not ready to say that. Even though they're worse defensively, and that much is obvious, they just don't have the horses in the front. The secondary is average at best. Even though that's the case, Death Valley is still one of the most hostile places in the country. And you need a guy that is not only seasoned, but is mentally tough enough to actually play there and then, be successful. And I'm not sure Everett Golston is that guy. I like the dude a lot, but I'm not sure, that he's able to go in there and beat a team with that much firepower, because it's just going to be a shootout. And I'm not sure he's able to do that.
You used to be high on Everett Golston. Remember last year you said he was a contender to wind up in New York. And he started out that way, and then after the FSU game, he just kind of fell apart to the point where he got benched. What happened with this guy?
The turnovers, man, just became too much. He can do things that not many people in the country can do. He's an athletic scrambler. He can throw darts on the run, but if you collapse him in the pocket, he panics. Completely panics. Just throws the ball up for grabs. And he has a fumbling problem because his hands are small. It's not really his fault. That's just how he was born. So,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know, but he's still good though. Like I'm not gonna, if they won the ACC, I wouldn't be surprised.
So now I will ask you who in this conference, and for just clarity, it's Boston College, Wake Forest, Clemson, Syracuse, Florida State, NC State, Louisville, Georgia Tech, Duke, Pittsburgh, Miami, Virginia Tech, North Carolina. Pittsburgh, by the way, it should be noted, James Conner's out for the year after suffering an injury earlier in the week, and
that sucks. It sucks, man.
He was their talent. So, who out of those names I mentioned, all whatever it was, 14 of them, which one of these teams do you think can surprise this year? Can do like better than what people are expecting or what they've been done in the past?
You're going to be very happy about this, but I think you guys, kid.
Really?
Because because I think they recruited well. You had a dude, Brad Kaya, who was, very highly touted. You know what I mean? With another year under his belt, he's been through all the hard, shit you go through in college football because he started every game last year. You know what I mean? So he's seen all the hard shit. Now he's a little bit older, kind of knows how to deal with it. I think they could win like 8-9 games, right?
Wow.
Maybe upset someone.
Wow.
Maybe a FSU. Who knows? When we get to the game.
The FSU game is in FSU this year.
That really doesn't make that much of a difference.
I don't want. Look, I'll just take this one little moment to talk about the Canes. Everyone back home has no confidence in the Miami Hurricanes because everyone wants Golden fired. I was saying all year that I thought the Canes could win 7 or 8 games just purely on the offensive progression with Brad. But the reason why I don't think they'll cross that barrier to 9 games or winning those big games is not just because Golden not the best coach in those situations in his time at UM, at least. Who knows what he'd do elsewhere. But the team lost a lot of leadership from last year. They lost Duke Johnson. They lost Denzel Perryman. Now, Golden did brainwash the team into thinking that these leaders were selfish and that they were the reason why the team collapsed last year. But and Brad, no doubt, like Brad's taken a big stride.
But I'll say this, kid.
But I question that.
Maybe new leadership is needed because that team wasn't very good last year.
Look, we have a head coach who has never beaten a team that finished the season ranked in his career with UM. Literally never. He is 1-19 on the road against teams with a winning record. These are pretty damning numbers, man.
Yeah.
I don't think this team is more talented than the team from 2 years ago. And that team 2 years ago barely won 9 games, didn't make it to the title game, and then got wrecked by Louisville in the bowl game. Like, I just don't think this team can do better than that. I think that was his ceiling.
Also, throwing it out there, Virginia Tech's going to struggle this year.
Really?
Yeah, Michael Brewer's hurt. That kid we put in there can't even throw a forward pass. We're going to struggle this year.
I was going to say, you guys played Ohio State. Like, it wasn't that bad. Like, what would you expect?
You got to remember, like it was close when Brewer was in the game. And then that kid came in and he couldn't throw a forward pass. And
Marquise,
it was a wrap.
Do you think the game goes differently if Brewer stays in? I wanted to ask you.
No. I mean, they still lose by like maybe 14. You know what I mean? It's just that they don't embarrass themselves. Like it doesn't look as bad.
They were looking good at one point with Brewer. But.
I want to talk to you about just like the reason why also with the Hurricanes is the schedule, and I'll just say it right now. They killed Bethune-Cookman. They go at FAU. They play Nebraska. I think these can be wins. They play.
They kill Nebraska. They will kill them.
It's in Miami too.
They kill them. Did y'all see that BYU game?
No, I did not. I heard bad things.
And I'm
the end
sorry.
was crazy.
I'm sorry to hear about Taysom Hill. That sucks, man. Because that dude got first round NFL talent, and he hurt himself again, man. God damn it. Fuck football sometimes. Fuck football.
It's true. But here's where I have issues with the schedule. There's at Cincinnati on the road on Thursday night. Look, I think they'll win. But I do think this is not as much of a gimme as people say. Yes, I know that defense is terrible. But this is on the road in prime time. This is a perfect moment for Al Golden to ruin it. But either way, even if we do count that as the win, we got at FSU. I think that's a loss. We got home against VTech. I think that could possibly be a loss. Home against Clemson. I think that's a loss.
That's a definite loss.
Yeah. So that's already, if we're giving them the VTech loss, that's 3. But if it's, I don't know how long Michael Brewer's going to be hurt for. If he's back by then,
he's supposed to be out for 5 to 7 games. So yeah, that's no shot.
So it'll be close. Then it's at Duke, versus UVA, at UNC, against Georgia Tech, and at Pittsburgh. So varying the Georgia Tech, Duke, Virginia Tech games, I think this is a 7-8 win team. Maybe could be knocking on the door to 9 wins, but I don't know. Little confidence.
Yeah, but even that, like, people think they're going to be terrible, man. Like
Yes. People think Golden's going to get fired, and people think that they're going to win. I think Vegas projected 5 games, so I guess I would agree with your sentiment. But this team needs to get rid of him, man. Like, I don't know if he'll work in another situation or not, but right now this team is heading nowhere. Did you see that article released by ESPN that the Hurricanes have more players in the NFL than any other school in the country?
Yeah, I saw.
Like, that's not just the
talent is there. The talent is there. Especially in Florida, like, that state is loaded. That's why Florida State, no matter what happens, seems to always be good.
That's why, but like those numbers are not just from like the glory days. Those numbers are from the present times, and we still can't do anything about it at the college level. The Canes had a losing record last year, man. How the hell did the Hurricanes ever have a losing record? Ever. But we shall see. Okay.
But fuck Miami.
Right,
okay, now
cool.
the team that's going to disappoint people is Louisville.
All right. Why?
I don't think the offense is as good as last year. I don't think the defense is as good as last year. I just don't think they are as good as a whole.
So you don't put much into that Auburn, like, resilient performance, or nah?
But no, not at all. Like, not like that. And okay, we'll get to them. But yeah, like, not at all. Not much at all. That kid Jeremy Johnson. Okay, I'll just say he looked awful. He did not look good. Like, he looked like he did not know how to play quarterback. And I've been hearing about this dude all season. But whatever. I know it's week 1, but he looked terrible. Like, it was two bad quarterbacks going back and forth.
And finally, that makes sense. For who wins the division, you're putting Clemson, I believe, tentatively.
Clemson, but not a lot of confidence.
And if you don't have confidence, it's because you think FSU wins the game in Clemson and that FSU wins it.
Yeah, it's going to be Clemson or FSU. If it's not either one of them, I will eat my hat. Put that on my record.
That's a good one. I will eat my hat, and we'll have live video coverage of it.
Yeah. I will do it on Twitch TV for everyone to see.
Eat my hat on Twitch TV. I love this. All right, let's get to the Big Ten now. Let's try to limit the.
Do we have to?
I know. Okay, look, I'm already going to put in Ohio State for the winner, and we don't need to give much analysis as to why.
The Michigan Wolverines.
But just for clarity, just for clarity, Michigan State, Indiana, Maryland, Rutgers, Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan, Illinois, Iowa, Northwestern, Minnesota, Nebraska, Wisconsin, Purdue. Markeem, who will surprise? Well, actually, thoughts on the division as a whole. You seem to not have many. Serious thought.
I think they're way better than people giving them credit for. I think that Michigan will obviously be better. I still don't think they're quite good per se. I think they're okay. Yeah, I mean, but Harbaugh instantly makes them better. Like, they competed with Utah, bro. Like, they weren't even supposed to be in that game, like, at all. They're supposed to go out there and get smoked, and they competed. They had chances to win. You know what I mean?
I forgot. Michigan? Or did
Utah.
Utah won. That's what I thought. Yeah.
And they were supposed to kill them, Phil. So, the fact it was close is a win in itself. You know what I mean? You got Penn State. They look terrible. Like, they look absolutely horrible. And that's against Temple, so that's kind of bad. But I hear this kid Christian Hackenberg, who I never liked, who I never thought was very good, who I think is the most timid dude I've ever seen in my life. It's supposed to be his breakout season, supposedly. We'll see what happens there. You know what I mean? And then Minnesota's good. A lot of these teams I think are good teams. I even talking about Michigan State. Like they have a legit chance to beat Ohio State. I don't think it's gonna happen, but it's a legit chance. Like that conference is not bad. They're not terrible. People acting like that Ohio State, they don't have to do anything and they're in the title game. That's not the case at all. They got a few like tough matchups coming. A few.
Which of these teams will surprise? And you can like say like before, if you thought this would be the case before week 1 or after week 1, but which of these teams will surprise?
Okay, before week 1, like I thought like okay, it's gonna go pretty much how I expect. You know what I mean? Yeah. But after week 1, I think Minnesota is for real, bro. Like them dudes play defense. Like, think about it this way. Trevon Boykin and them were unstoppable last year. They were in that entire game until the fourth quarter. That's a scary thought. Like, that is a really, really physical team, bro. Like, they hit the shit out of motherfuckers, man. they were beating Trevon Boykin up. And, like, the offensive line was supposed to be the main thing, right? That's supposed to be, like, the main thing at TCU. Has everyone excited. That line of Trevon Boykin. Nah, they were getting in there at will and knocking the hell out of that dude, man. Like, that team is good. Like, they're good.
Which of these teams will disappoint?
See, I don't know, because everyone has such low expectations of, I think, well, I will say this. I guess Michigan will. Because of the Harbaugh hype, you know what I mean? I think people expect him to get in there and turn around immediately. It's not going to happen that way. So I guess I'll go with them.
How many wins for Michigan this year?
I'd have to look at the schedule. Got it in front of you?
Yeah. All right, so...
Hey, real quick, we're just going to run through it.
At Utah was a loss. Against Oregon State at home.
They should win that game.
Against UNLV...
They should win that game, too.
Against BYU.
Without Taysom Hill, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I'll say loss.
At Maryland.
They should win that game.
Against Northwestern.
They should win that game. Well, I'll say win very hesitantly.
Against Michigan State.
I think they're a little lose that.
At Minnesota.
Wow, I would have said win, but now I lost.
Versus Rutgers.
They'll win. They'll win that.
At Indiana.
They better win that.
At Penn State.
They better win that too.
And then finally, Ohio State.
Oh, they're gonna get smoked.
So
this is gonna be the first. This is gonna be the first time in a long time that game is not close.
So they will be 7-5 by the end of the year. Yeah, that would be I think based on what most people expect. I think that would be a disappointment. So that's applicable. You don't think Harbaugh's coaching will at least like is the talent discrepancy really that large?
Yeah, man. They're not very good.
Shame. A lot of potential there. Okay.
When he recruits his guys though, I'm telling you, like in 3 years. They'll be like them and Ohio State will be like Alabama and Auburn right now, bro. In like 3 years.
Yeah. Awesome. Them and Ohio State. Put that. Give Harbaugh 3 years, and Michigan and OSU will be like Bama and Auburn. All right. I don't think we need to talk about who's going to win, because I'm sure the reasoning for this will be more applicable to the college football playoff.
They are way better than everyone, and y'all know who I'm talking about. Let's move on.
The Big 12, and again, give your thoughts, but just so I can summarize it up. Oklahoma State, Baylor, Kansas State, TCU, Iowa State, Oklahoma, Texas Tech, West Virginia, Kansas, Texas. Thoughts on the conference?
I think the Big 12 is... I don't want to say a 2-team conference, but because I think that there are good teams in the conference. I just think I think honestly, to be 100% honest, I don't think any of these teams are that great. I think that Baylor and TCU are both really, really good. I think Oklahoma is very good. You know what I mean? But I think that there is no true great team in the conference. I think each team has their own individual problem.
Who will surprise of those teams?
Surprises in good or bad? Like a good way?
Yeah. Dude, surprise in a bad way would be a disappoint. So
Yeah. I think Oklahoma. I think that Oklahoma will spoil someone. Yeah, I mean, like someone making a run. Like they're in that position. Like Samaje Perine is there. He's a Heisman contender. Sophomore. I think West Virginia also could surprise some people. Like, I know Clint Trickett's gone, but the way that Dana Holgorsen has that set up is that any quarterback can come in there. You know what I mean, and put up numbers. You know what I mean, and anyone that struggles against the pass, TCU, it might be an issue. Might be an issue.
For the record, Oklahoma, they play Baylor, they play TCU. Like, the TCU game is in Oklahoma, so
See that last year TCU barely beat them, and I think Oklahoma's better this year. You know what I mean? And they were in TCU. I'm just saying.
Who will I guess this is your time to go to your discussion about this team, because I'm pretty sure you're not going to pick them to win the division. And if you're not picking them to win the division, that would definitely be a disappointment. So who's going to disappoint?
TCU.
And go on it. Explain it.
I think that the offensive line that gets lauded as one of the best in college football is not as good as people say. I think that Trevon Boykin leaves himself open to too many hits. I think that defense is simply not good. I think that the receivers, although maybe the best receiving core in college football, maybe you can make the argument. I think it's Clemson, but you can make the argument. You know what I mean? Like, they're really good, but are they really all that reliable? A lot of drops. I think, you know what I'm saying? I think the Minnesota was supposed to get wiped out. I don't think people realize this. It was supposed to get wiped out. Like, that was supposed to be the practice game for TCU. That did not happen. There were a couple times where Minnesota looked like they might come back and win. And that's not good if you're supposed to be a team that is on par with Ohio State. Like, even though Ohio State, they struggled against, Virginia Tech at first. They got up 14-0 very quick. Bud Foster, I was at that game, by the way. Bud Foster made an adjustment, you know what I mean? And then the game was close. But in the second half, they blew them away. The TCU never blew, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, they never left that stamp on that game. That game should tell people maybe this team isn't as good as people think. I think they are very good. I just don't think they're as good as people think. I think people are just putting them into the final, into the playoff. Like, they're going to play Ohio State for the championship. And I'm not so sure about that. I'm not. Matter of fact, I don't think it'll happen.
I was going to say, because that leads us into the question where you explain even more this pick, but who's winning the division?
I think Baylor. I think Baylor will beat them like they did last year.
And for the record, it's in TCU this year. We should note that.
Yeah.
Just saying.
And it really doesn't make that big a difference. Like last year, it didn't make that big of a difference. But I think they are. I don't want to say better, because I still think that Bryce Petty's leadership made a difference for that team last year. But I think Baylor's defense is a little bit better. I really do. I think it's a little bit better. I think just by a little bit. I think that game will be a shootout. It'll be an unpredictable, wild, and crazy shootout. I think Baylor will win. I just do.
That's fair. Very, very good point.
It's like Baylor. What's that kid? That big kid that was in like all those memes and stuff. That big defensive lineman.
God, was it Sean Oakman?
Yeah, Sean Oakman. Yeah. I think that he's going to be able to just. What is that?
He's like 400 pounds or something. Yeah.
Yeah, of like all muscle. He's like built like the Incredible Hulk. It's crazy. But I think he's going to be able to just throw around that offensive. That offensive line is very overrated. People will see this. I cannot wait until people see this. Like, they are very overrated, that offensive line. And the defensive line is not that good. Yeah. It's not that good.
Alrighty. Good stuff. That'll be fun to monitor throughout the year. That TCU-Baylor game will be very fun to preview.
But I say this. I'm really high on Trevon Boykin, though. I really am. I think he's not since Michael Vick have I seen a dude able to just improvise on the fly like he does. It's kind of incredible.
And we will get to that in a bit. Pac-12. Again, for clarity, your teams in the sorry, I lost place of my spot. All right, here's your Pac-12. You got California, Oregon State, Oregon, Stanford, Washington State, Arizona, Utah, UCLA, USC, Colorado, Arizona State. Thoughts on the conference as a whole?
I'm gonna say something that's very unpopular, and I kind of don't give a shit. I think that's the best conference in America. I think just this season. Yeah.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Whoa!
Yeah.
FCC, what are you talking about, Marquis? You've gone insane, man.
I'll tell you why. Because
CSC.
Okay, I'm gonna jump ahead a little bit. I think USC is gonna win this conference, but you got USC, you got Oregon. Who is fucking Oregon? Like they're Oregon every year. You know what I mean? Even though Stanford lost, the offense does not look as good or whatever. That defense that's basically an SEC defense. You know what I mean? You got Arizona, who Rich Rod always compete every year.
UCLA.
UCLA, like that fucking kid, what's his name? Jeff Rosen or something.
Yeah.
Josh Rosen.
Josh Rosen.
Like the number one recruit in all of college football last year. You know what I mean? And he looks like he's every bit as good as people think, man. That dude look like he's been playing college football for like 3 years now. Like he's ready. You know what I mean? Like I might have to change some of my predictions because of this kid. Like that dude.
And what were you gonna say about Scooby Wright?
He needs to come back though, because they're gonna need him, because they look like a totally different defense without him. Like they said he'll be back, but man, my God, they need him. Like, but yeah, like I think that conference can play with anyone.
And that's not even talking about Arizona State, who I know we think is that great.
Yeah. But I still think that's a good team. You know what I mean? I think they'll beat each other up like the SEC does every year, and people just ignore the fact that the SEC, most of those teams have horrible records because they beat each other up because the conference is so good. And I think that's how the Pac-12 will look this year. When the bowl season hits and they're like beating SEC teams and shit, people are gonna be like, "Oh God, like where did they come from? Yeah, they were playing out west." Like, yeah, I think it's the best conference in America.
Who will?
I think it's close. But I think they're the best conference.
Who will surprise from this conference?
I
guess technically the team you're picking to win it, maybe, but I mean, you can pick.
I mean, I know a lot of people are picking them to win anyway.
Okay, well, just your thoughts, California.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I guess California would be, but a lot of people think they're better anyway. But I'll go with them.
I was gonna repeat all the teams. Just one last record. Like you can decide if it's gonna be California, Oregon State, Oregon, Stanford, Washington.
I'm gonna go with California because they finished strong last year. The entire team is back. Like they should win like 8, 9 games, 7, 8, 9 games, something like that. They'll probably upset somebody and everyone's gonna go nuts. So yeah.
I just want to check their home schedule. Like, what's their biggest home game this year? They do play USC at home.
Yeah.
Or I'm more in line with what we were saying earlier. They play Arizona State at home too. So.
Yeah, like, they're going to get somebody and everyone's going to go, "Oh, shit." I didn't know they were that good.
Who will disappoint?
I hate to say it because I respect their system. I respect what they do, but I think Oregon. I think that Marcus Mariota, man, he's been Oregon for like the past 3 years, man. He's been Oregon. Like, you know what I mean? You can't lose that. Like, you can't just lose him, a dude that's like pretty much been everything not even just to the football program, just to the athletic department. He's been the face of that school in terms of athletics for the past 3 years. He can't just leave and then you expect them to just not miss a beat because you got some dude that transferred from the FCS, bro. Like, no, it's not going. It doesn't work like that. It just doesn't. I really think they're gonna lose like 4 games, man.
Wow. Yeah.
You can book them losing on Saturday. You can book that.
They play Michigan State.
Yeah, you can book that in Michigan. It's over. It's over.
Damn.
I'm not even sure it'll be that close, to be honest.
Wow.
You can book that.
Book it. Oregon beats Michigan. Book it. Michigan State beats Oregon. All right. And now, finally, explain why you think USC is going to win the division.
Cody, it's a lot of camaraderie with that team. They didn't lose that many. They lost Nelson Aguilar, obviously, but like, you know what I mean. It was a lot of receivers coming up at that same time. Cody Kessler, very underratedly, had a 39-5 touchdown to interception ratio, yet nobody talked about it.
Wow. Yeah.
You know, everyone's talking about Mariota and all these other guys, but 39-5. You know what I mean? No one brought it up. The one thing that does concern me though about him is that against ranked teams, he looked like a totally different guy. But I think that's just because he was learning Sarkisian's offense. I think now another year of this, but even though Sarkisian is kind of fucked up in the head right now, I don't want to get into that. But I think I think that he'll be better. I think that I think this year he'll be even better than last year. I think just off the strength of him and that offense, they'll win.
Damn, man.
And losing Leonard Williams is a big deal. Like, I'm not going to downplay that at all. But I think they'll be good enough
to win the best conference in college football.
Yep.
This will be fun to track. All right.
From top to bottom, best conference in the country.
Now let's go over to the last conference, the Southeastern Conference, the powerhouses. And very quickly running through: Georgia, South Carolina, Florida, Kentucky, Missouri, Tennessee, Vanderbilt, Arkansas, Ole Miss, Alabama, Auburn, Mississippi State, Texas A&M, LSU. Thoughts on in your opinion, not the best conference in college football?
I mean, the argument still can be made. I mean, the SEC is the SEC. Like, I'm not going to act like it's not. Are you crazy? But but I do think it's just top heavy. To be honest with you, like, it's just really top. Like, yes, Alabama's Alabama. Like, they're always going to be really good. Yes, LSU is LSU. You know what I mean? Auburn is Auburn. You know what I mean? Of course. But, let's be honest. Like, as much as I like Arkansas and Brett Bielema, I think they're a good team. But are they really a great team? Like, I think A&M is better. I think the defense is better. That kid, Miles Austin. Miles Turner. Ain't that his name? That kid's amazing. That kid, he broke Jadeveon Clowney's freshman sack record last year. A lot of people don't even realize that, but he did. And that kid's amazing. Like, yeah, he can play. You know what I mean? They're better, but are they really a great team? I guess we'll find that out. You know what I mean? We got
Myles Garrett, you mean, right?
Miles Garrett. There you go, Myles Garrett. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's a great player, but we'll see, man. It's too many question marks. And just to sum it all up, with all of college football, every single team has a question mark except Ohio State. I think Ohio State is the only team that is clearly great. I think everyone else has a big gaping question. I mean, it's crazy.
So in this field of question marks, who will surprise?
Tennessee, I think. I think they win the East.
Wow.
I think
that'd definitely be a surprise. Why?
Florida is
good,
not
son.
Like what?
I said Tennessee's good.
What were you gonna say about Florida?
Like Florida is not back. You know what I mean? They're getting back. We'll see. Phil knows South Carolina really isn't that great. You know what I mean?
You can go ahead and call them the South Carolina Pharaoh Coopers this year. That's all we got.
That's funny. Georgia, they're still Georgia. Like, they're really good in terms of talent. They probably are the best team in the East, but they're still Georgia, man. Something's going to happen. It always does, man. So, like, something's going to happen. Like, Nick Chubb is in a position where he can win the Heisman, though. Yeah. Like, he really could. But, and that quarterback they got that I've heard so much hype about, we'll see. We'll see. But I don't know, man.
What about Grayson Lambert? Yeah, I think it's
whatever fuck his name is.
What about Missouri, who's won the East in recent years?
They're good too, but I don't know about their offense, man. I don't know how many points they're gonna score. I don't. We'll see.
Who in this conference will disappoint?
Hold on to y'all hats.
Actually,
Bama.
No, it's not going to be Bama because it's going to be the other Alabama team.
Yeah. I think Auburn, everyone has them in the top 10, being this great team. I think Muschamp will make a difference. I think he got way too much credit for that game last weekend, though. Louisville. they kept beating themselves up. You know what I mean? Random fumbles, bad passes that end up being interceptions. Like, oh, Muschamp has them playing better. Not really. It's week 1, and they were playing a team that was not ready to play football. It's that simple. They didn't exactly look like world eaters either. You know what I mean? I think Muschamp a bit overrated, son. Like, yeah, he's a good defensive recruiting coach, but how good is he really in games? Like, you know what I mean? What you say?
I thought you thought he was a good defensive mind.
He is a good defensive mind, but how good is he really? You know what I mean? I think a lot of that stuff is that he has a system that is a great system, and he knows how to find the guys that are right for his system. But he doesn't have those guys yet. He doesn't. It's his first year there. Like, you know, and Gus Malzahn is great. I just don't think they're as good as people say, man. I think Bama's Bama. You know what I mean? They're Bama. I'm not going to say they'll disappoint.
What about
they're Bama.
And how much of this also has to do with Jeremy Johnson?
I think he's good. I think he's terrible. I think he looked terrible. I mean, he might end up getting better, but in that game on Saturday, he looked like a dude that never played quarterback before. He looked really fucking bad.
Oh, so like really our quarterback bad?
No, not that bad, but he looked bad.
Well, okay, so I know this answer already, but we haven't really talked about them, so now you can explain who's going to win the division and why.
I think LSU is going to win the division. I think if they get anything passing-wise at all to where they can be kind of balanced, I think they're the best team. I think they have the most familiarity with each other. Les Miles, you know, he's one of the best defensive coaches in the nation. They'll be fine there. I think if you paid attention at the end of the season, Leonard Fournette started to become internet Leonard Fournette. So, you know what I mean? Like, we saw those highlights before he came to LSU. He started to become that guy at the end of the season. So that's a scary thought. I think this weekend they put absolute hurting on Mississippi State, bro. I think after they dog them motherfuckers, people go crazy. Like, oh man, they're really good. Watch.
What? Two questions I want to ask. It's about 3 different teams. Last year, we heard all the hype about Ole Miss and Mississippi State and the buildup of both those programs. We haven't mentioned them yet. Any issues you have with those particular teams?
I think they're both good. I just don't think either is as good as last year.
Really? I know you said that the loss of Bo Wallace would be a addition by subtraction.
Yeah.
But
because he was too inconsistent. But I still like, you know, Stephon Treadwell as a great receiver.
Laquan,
you know what I mean?
Laquan
Treadwell. Whatever fuck his name is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
And Ken
Great receiver. Yeah, Kimdichie, both of them great. You know what I mean? But I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, I still don't trust Hugh Freeze as an offensive coach. Like, you still have to score points to win. Like, dog, they scored 3 points against TCU's defense, bro, last year. That TCU defense last year. Like, I'm just saying, like, you need to be able to score, and I'm just not sure. I'm not sure.
And if people haven't heard it yet, give your Dak Prescott opinions.
I think that dude is a very good college player. I think he's a very below-average passer. I think he's a dynamite playmaker. He can make things happen. He's very unorthodox. But I think in terms of playing quarterback and making the right decision with the ball, I think he is terrible, and I think he is mentally weak.
Wow.
Like, I think he's weak. Like against Alabama, he did not look like the dude, you know what I mean, that played Ole Miss. You know what I mean? He did not. You know what I mean? He didn't.
Yeah.
He didn't look like a guy.
One of my favorite moments was when Markeem called Dak Prescott a wimp last year. And then, like, right after he did that was the TMZ report came out that saw Dak Prescott get, like, beat the fuck up, like, on the streets. And I was like, oh, man, very unfortunate timing for this guy. All right, so just, like, one last thing I want to ask. Why, you say all these reasons why LSU would be good. What's the question mark about Alabama that has you picking LSU over them?
Let me ask you a question, okay?
Okay.
You have a team that loses, you know what I mean? Let's just go back 2 years ago. They lost A.J. McCarron, you know what I mean? And then they replaced him with whatever that dude's name was. I don't
Blake
even
Sims.
remember his name.
Blake Sims.
But
Blake Sims.
I actually did. You ruined the joke, but
Oh. My bad. He did set records. It's not like he was a no one.
Man, you watched them play. Did you think he was overly impressive? Like he said Alabama passing records. Like, come on, think about it. Come on, it's Alabama passing. Come on now. Like, who cares about those records? Like, half of an NFL season, you could set those records. You know what I mean? Like, but you know, like they replaced him with him, and like they just weren't the same. You know, and now they lost T.J. Yeldon. You know what I mean?
Cooper.
And now, yeah, I was gonna get to that. And then they lose Amari Cooper. You know what I mean? And then you just can't replace that. And then the defense, I think the secondary is awful. I think they're not good. I think the front seven is legit. I think that almost all those dudes are NFL talent. But I think the secondary is not good. I think if that was any other team, they would not be the number 2 team in the country. But because it's Alabama and the reputation, I ain't even get to Lane Kiffin. We ain't gonna get into that. You know what I mean? But I think that, you know, if it was anyone else, it wouldn't be like this. It's just because it's Bama, and they deserved it. They earned it. But nah. But I still think they're good. You know, I think whoever comes out of the West will have 2 losses though.
Wow.
Like that, you know, I think the West is going to, you know, win the conference, but it's going to be hell. It's going to be hell.
The one thing benefiting Alabama is, they do play at Auburn, but they play LSU at home. You know,
yeah.
They play Ole Miss at home. So at Georgia though, and at Texas A&M, but and they play Tennessee at home. Yeah. Your boys. But I can understand a lot of your sympathies. All right. That sums up the major conferences. So before we get to
Phil, you got anything to say about South Carolina?
The South Carolina Pharaoh Coopers.
Yeah, because honestly, I feel for him because that man, like, if he doesn't get hurt, it'll be a miracle because, like, that's our offense in a nutshell. Pharaoh Cooper. Now, Shane Carson off the bench is good and wild, but oh my goodness, it's like, God, now I can't even think of his name. I hate him so much. The quarterback, what's his name? Dadgummit.
I forget. Connor
Mitch. That's right. Like, dude was like a deer in headlights. Like, I honestly think Orth might be starting before the end of the season. So.
He's the dude I thought would start anyway, because that's the dude that was at Peyton Manning's camp being great.
And I think he actually acted like when he got in the game, he looked like he knew what he was doing. So I think once Ord starts, maybe we'll have a little more success. But our defense isn't very good either, so it's gonna be rough.
The Miami Hurricanes have an improved defense, but you can't. The Hurricanes last year had like a bottom 30 defense in the league, and it was celebrated universally. And it's just like, what the hell, man? Come on now. That secondary has a lot of talent, though. It's probably the most talented secondary UM has had in a long, long time. Still think 8 wins is the ceiling. 7 wins is the likely outcome. Golden will lose a game that you did not pick him to lose. I'll say that. There will be a game, and like not like FSU, but like there will be a game where you pick them to win and they will lose, because that's what we do. All right, before we get to the playoff, Heisman. Give me like 3-4 names and the winner, obviously.
All right, Cody Kessler. This is just names I'm throwing out there. Cody Kessler, Ezekiel Elliott, Leonard Fournette, Trevon Boykin. Those are my 4 names.
Hello, Cooper. No, I'm just kidding.
And
my winner is Trevon Boykin.
Damn. High praise for the overrated team.
Yeah, that's why I think he'll win. Because I think people realize, oh shit, they're not as good as we thought. But this kid, that's what I think is going to happen. Like, oh man, this kid though, he's keeping them afloat. I mean, do I think he's an NFL quarterback? Probably not. But I think at the college level, that dude is a great player.
What I ask though is like what makes this kind of like interesting to me is Boykin if they lose, like I guess, like if they lose the conference, like can he still get the Heisman vote?
Yeah, hell yeah. RG3 did it.
Well, I guess that's true.
Who else did it? A few people did it. Yeah, Captain.
Okay then. Trevon Boykin. So you have 5 teams: USC, Baylor, Ohio State, LSU, Clemson. Which of the 5 does not make the playoffs?
Clemson.
I think there's pretty
Yeah.
obvious reasons for that.
That's right. That's right. I said it. I think a 2-loss LSU team will be the 4th seed in the playoff.
Wow.
What? 2 loss?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yep.
Oh, that's pretty bold. You need to write that one down.
I'm writing that. That's definitely going on the record. The team that wins the SEC will have 2 losses.
And whoever, even if it's not LSU, I think whoever that team is will be in the playoff. Because nobody except one team is going undefeated this year.
All right. So, LSU, Ohio State, Baylor, USC. I presume Ohio State would take the 1 seed, Baylor the 2, USC the 3, LSU the 4.
Yeah.
Okay. So, give us your title game and explain why.
I got LSU. Oh shit. I got Ohio State over USC.
Wow.
Because I think
I hope you're wrong.
I think by the end of the season, Ohio State will be an unstoppable monster. I think they're gonna maul any of those 4 teams. Because like y'all got to remember, like Virginia Tech has a very physical attacking defense. That's why I kind of took them a minute to figure them out. We're not even halfway through the season, and in the 3rd quarter of that game, I was there. I'm telling you, in the 3rd quarter of that game, they scared the shit out of me. Like that looked like how those Carroll teams used to look with Reggie Bush and Matt Leinart. Like that looked like maybe like the 02 Hurricanes. You know what I mean? With McGahee and Johnson and those boys. It's fucking crazy. Fucking crazy. Like that team, like, you know, you got Braxton Miller playing wide receiver, playing give him the ball and let him do stuff. That's his position. You know what I mean? They got that one guy, the receiver, the one that destroyed Kendall Fuller, just like on a double move. Like Kendall Fuller is a dude that people are saying is the best cornerback in college football. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I had to think about it, but people were saying, I know he's great. He was huge for us last year, but he just like blew right past it with a simple double move. Kendall Fuller hit the turf.
Is that Michael Thomas?
Yeah, there you go, Michael Thomas. Like he hit the turf. He hit the turf, bro. Like, you know what I mean? And they got 3, like, you know, they got 2 quarterbacks. If Cardell Jones is struggling, which I doubt it will happen, they just throw in JT Barrett and he'll come in and, you know, he can play. Ezekiel Elliott might have the best numbers in the country of any running back. They're so loaded. They're so loaded. They are so loaded, bro. It is scary. And in the defense, I didn't bring dog. Joey Bosa might be the best player on the team. I didn't even bring him up. He might be. He'll probably be the first defensive player taken when he comes out. Whenever. It's crazy. Crazy. And I didn't bring that up. He didn't even play week 1 because he was suspended. He didn't even play.
They had a lot of players suspended, didn't they?
Yeah, 2 of the receivers and 1 of the running backs. I think those 2 receivers were starters. You got to ask my boy Jeremy. That's his team. So that's crazy.
So Ohio State repeats and become the new age dynasty. They take the throne like it was the Hurricanes, then USC, then Bama.
And now them. I think so.
Damn. I mean, you must think, because imagine, like, after this year, yes, they will lose a lot. They will lose Cardell Jones. They will lose Ezekiel Elliott. But, I mean, you still got just put JT Barrett's, what is he? He's a redshirt sophomore, right?
Yeah, you just throw him in there. Just throw him. Bullshit. It's bullshit, man.
It's just scary.
It reminds me of your Canes, man. It's bullshit.
And Braxton Miller should have been receiver the whole time.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what for real, right? That's what he looked like. It was crazy.
So, do you think anybody even makes this a game? So, do you think Michigan State is that the closest we're gonna get? Even
Yeah,
more
no, I think Michigan State is gonna give them hell because they always do. I mean, I think Michigan could, but I doubt it. I mean, I just doubt it.
maybe like in 2 years that Michigan Ohio State game.
Even I think even next year it could be a game. You know what I mean? But not this year. And in the playoff, like I think they're going to destroy LSU, like destroy. And I think after that they're going to destroy USC. Like Cody, like all season people are gonna be saying Cody Kessler looks amazing. He looks like the best quarterback in the class. And then in that game they're going to kill them. He's going to struggle, and people are going to be like, "Should we take him?" I'm telling you, man. That team. Let's move on. I can talk about them all day. I won't do it though.
All right. I have a new. Okay, so that concludes our coverage of college football, and now we'll move on to the NFL.
Real quick, I got one thing I want to announce. Nobody in the world will care except for me, but I just want to say that Coastal Carolina is going to be moving to the Sun Belt. They're going to be an FBS team, so that's going to be interesting to start.
Right.
So, yep, 20.
They could be bowl eligible.
Yep, and I think they'll be bowl eligible. I think in 2017 or 18, I can't remember. So. It's a big move. That's where I went to college, just in case anybody doesn't remember.
That's a huge move, man. Moving up from FBS.
I think we're doing it a little too soon, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, I guess. Hopefully, we'll win the title this year, but I don't know. We'll see.
All right, so to go into the NFL stuff, the way we're gonna do this is instead of going like division by division, which now seems kind of like a bad idea since there's only 4 teams, so it's like you could just answer each question. We're going to go to our playoff picks, and we're going to explain why a certain team is going to win the division. And then we can explain it. And then when it comes to the wild cards, we'd also probably explain teams that are going to do well nonetheless. And we'll talk about our notable snub. The notable snub will be the team that we are not putting in the playoffs that a lot of people are putting in the playoffs. And then we'll go to the Super Bowl and then the award. So
and for the record, I'm doing this one on the fly because like I hadn't even really thought about this.
No worries.
Hey, same thing. I'm doing the same thing.
Look, I personally think the seeding. Look, don't worry about your seeding. Like in terms of 1 through 4, it's just 4 division winners. Like,
right? Yeah.
Let's make this easy. All right.
That's what I'm saying. I'm still doing it. I hadn't even thought about this.
All right. Well, look, we can do it one by one for each team. So,
minus 2 teams I hadn't really thought about anyway. So,
all right,
let's go.
Markeem, the AFC South. Who will be winning this division and representing in the playoffs?
Seriously?
The Tennessee Titans.
That would be nuts. But no.
Marcus
obviously
Mariota.
The Colts, man. Obviously the Colts.
Phil, same thing?
Yeah, it's got to be the Colts, man. Got to be.
All right, I will say the same thing. I was gonna say like when it's
but one thing I want to say about the AFC South, since we won't be able to mention them later, the Jags are gonna impress some people this year. I'm just saying. I'm not saying they're gonna come out of nowhere and win 9 games or anything like that, but Jags are slowly getting there, man. Just watch them this year. Is all I'm saying.
Actually, I think I believe you on that too. I feel very similar to that.
Yeah.
Why?
And Clowney's on the Texans. Who knows? So I'm just kidding.
Why are you on the Jags?
I mean, you know, they've just been so bad for so long. I can't do that.
No faith in Blake Bortles?
I mean, I like him. I don't know.
Oh, look, I said AFC South for a reason to just get that division out of the way.
Right.
So.
I do want to add though. Phil brought up Clowney. I kind of got to pump the brakes, man, because when I heard he had like regenerative knee damage, bro, like that's not a good sign for like a defensive player. Like he might just be injured his whole career. You know,
they say he looks good though, so.
I mean, he looked good last year, man.
We'll see. I don't even think about it till it happens.
Alrighty, now we move into the AFC East. Philip, I've already wrote it in, but just in case.
I mean, is it really? Are we talking about this? This is the first one we should have talked about. Well, it's not as easy as the AFC South, but probably gonna be closer than people think, honestly. But yeah, of course I got the Patriots. But
Markeem?
I think that every single team, with the exception of the Patriots, has actually gotten better. But I still think the Patriots win.
I am going to be picking the Patriots to win this division.
I'm about to say.
oh, the Dolphins. What?
Because last year, if you remember, I picked the Dolphins to win the division, thinking that last year would be the turnaround. Last year wasn't the turnaround. Now, I will say the team has gotten a lot better, and the hype is real. This isn't just me. All media outlets are saying and projecting, the Dolphins, I think, might win the division this year. And I'm excited. But
I don't know, man. The Jets are getting a lot of that, too, though.
yes, but, the Jets weren't mentioned in the Harvard study. I can't vote against the Patriots. Unless they have some serious injury, as long as Gronk is healthy, that offense is going to be fine. That defense will figure a way. This team, everyone talks about how it's worse than last year. I was telling this to Markeem before the show. I think it's no worse or no better than the 2012 Patriots team, and that team made it to the AFC Title Game. So, yeah, they got worse, but they're still, a good playoff team. So I will just pick them because I trust them. Can't trust my own team, unfortunately.
Right. but I do think, seriously, all those other teams really got better. Seriously.
Yeah, I will say this, too. Lock the Dolphins in at number 2. No way they don't finish the second. No way.
Maybe this might come up.
No way.
Maybe this might come up in the wild card stuff. All right.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Moving through. So, AFC North. Now we're getting a little harder here. Markeem, got any inclinations?
Well, before tonight, I would have said, I'm overreacting. Before tonight, I honestly would have said the Steelers. That was pathetic, bro. That was Jesus, man. I tweeted this, a quote I heard from Bobby Bowden. He said, as a matter of fact, he used to say it all the time. Whenever you play I'm gonna do my impersonation. Whenever you play a great tight end, he should face 3 levels of the defense: the defensive lineman, the linebacker, and somebody in the secondary. None of that happened tonight.
They didn't cover him at all.
Man, they just let Gronk run around like crazy. Just really?
Literally.
3 touchdowns for a tight end? That's all. I don't give a damn who it is. That is not good. That's not good. And Gronk, don't get me wrong. Gronk might be the best player in the NFL. That's how good he is. But come on now. Come on.
Still, though.
It's just crazy.
Pathetic. They didn't even try. It's sometimes they're just look, just keep it.
So if it's not the Steelers.
Like Julian Edelman was bullying them, man. It was ridiculous. Definitely not the Steelers. I'm gonna go with the Ravens, but not very confident about that.
Is there a big flag you have with them, or just?
I mean, it's Joe Flacco, man. Who knows which guy will show up?
That's true.
Phil, what about you?
I don't know what to think, man. Our boy Charlie has, just to throw him out there, has the Ravens actually going to the Super Bowl, which I think is absolutely crazy. But I see his points, but a
lot of teams like them for. I think from what I've read, people picking the Ravens to go to the Super Bowl has more to do with people's distrust of the other teams rather than.
And that's what there's merit to that, so I don't blame him with that. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say the Bengals will win this division.
I like that.
I think out on a limb, man.
I know. Well, not obviously the Browns would be out of the limb, but Johnny, we'll get out of here. But yeah, it's I think I just if I have to pick somebody, I'm more confident in the Bengals getting it done. But really, it's gonna who really this is gonna come down to week 17. Bengals, Ravens, or Steelers. And then the other one's probably going to get a wild card, or one of the others will get a wild card. So, but
that seems to happen every year, doesn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, I wouldn't be shocked even after tonight, Markeem. I wouldn't be shocked if the Steelers won it. Wouldn't be shocked if the Ravens won it. So, I'm going to go with the Bengals.
Who knows? They could fix it, but that was pathetic.
If you don't remember, Markeem, the Steelers actually looked pretty bad last year at the start of the season, and then they kind of came on a little bit at the end, but.
But that bad, Phil. That defense was, man.
Not that. I mean, tonight was sometimes they didn't even play defense. But.
I don't know why. Well, I know why a little bit. I don't like the Ravens this year. I
don't either.
I think they lost Torrey Smith, and it's not like Torrey Smith is this like generational player, but he was important to that offense. But what's more important is they replaced him with Brashad Perriman. I don't like Brashad Perriman. I don't
either.
I thought he was overdrafted because of his athleticism, and he had like one of the highest drop rates in all of college football last year. And he was hurt.
And he's also
missed most of training
case.
camp. Yes. Like, I do not like that addition at all. I don't see why that offense would get better. They lost.
I was gonna say he's getting some hype though.
Yeah,
I've heard. Yeah.
They lost Gary Kubiak, who gave them their best offense of all time.
That's true.
Yes, they have Mark Trestman, but I don't think Trestman can come. I think what Kubiak did was so different, and from what I've heard, Trestman is going to trying to keep Kubiak's system rather than implementing his own. And I don't think what Justin Forsett did last year was typical of what he's always going to do. Like, he's never done that in his NFL career before. Why do people all of a sudden think that this is going to be him for the rest of his life?
Forsett's not going to be the guy. Lorenzo Taliaferro.
I think
Coastal Carolina.
I think losing Haloti Ngata was not a insignificant deal. They were very bad last year when Haloti Ngata didn't play. And like Timmy Jernigan and Brandon Williams are good players, but they still didn't see the field that much. And he was the anchor of that defensive line. I think the Ravens,
maybe C.J. Mosley finally steps into his destiny and becomes Ray Lewis.
Oh,
yeah, I'm not saying I'm not like Skip Bayless,
but
throwing out names, calling him the next Ray Lewis. But that's what they want him to be.
No, I know, and hey, so far, awesome. Like no complaints with him. But I'm going to jump ahead a little bit here. But the Ravens are probably going to be my notable snub from the playoffs. I think they might win 8 games, but I think the changes this offseason weren't for the best. And I really do believe, because it's clear in the playoffs this year, all the major teams all have a major red flag, not just an insignificant red flag, a major red flag. And I think people just pick the Ravens out of trust. Out of, it's Harbaugh, it's Flacco. The offense won't be as good, but it's never that good. And, they'll work themselves out. I don't think they have the talent to do it. That's just my thing. So I'm going to pick the Steelers to win the division still. I do think this defense is going to be really bad, but I do think that they'll score enough to figure it out and to win enough games down the line. They're sneakily one of the best NFL teams in December. I don't think they'll win a playoff game. I think that defense will result in a first-round knockout, but I don't know. I don't know about the Bengals. I was really high on them at first. I thought they'd have a much better offense, but that defense also doesn't look that good. So, Steelers are my pick, tentatively. That just leaves the AFC West. Phil?
I don't think this is much of a debate. I think the Broncos do win the division, but I do think it could be closer than people expect. I don't know what to think about the Broncos. I don't know why. Maybe am I the only one? Something about the Broncos just doesn't sit well. I don't know. But that's probably when they'll decide to do make a run. But as far as the division, I still think they edge it out. Chargers may make it close, but
Markeem?
I don't think it fucking matters. But
right.
to be honest with you, man, I don't know, man. I guess the Broncos, they got the most talent on offense, I guess. We'll go with them, I guess. Whatever.
I think
cool.
I'll go with them as well. We'll talk about them, I guess, a little bit later. I might bring them up, to say the least. All right. Now we go to the NFC side, get these 4 teams out, then we move on to the wild cards. So, Markeem, in the NFC North, who are you going to have winning?
I still got the Packers, even though I don't think they'll be as good as I initially thought. But yeah, I still got the Packers.
Philip?
Yeah, same. It's pretty obvious for me.
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
I don't think. Well, the Bears. That's funny. The Vikings could surprise us.
That's Phil said. That's funny.
Did you see the
pictures? He didn't laugh. It was funny.
I just went in and put the Seahawks for all of us as well.
Yeah. Cardinals could shock you. That Seattle offensive line this year, man. I'm telling you, watch that. That offensive line's going to struggle early.
Oh, I agree. I think losing Max Unger was a bigger deal than people realize.
I think I am gonna go with the Cardinals.
Wow, that would be a shocker. That would be a huge surprise.
Palmer stays healthy. I mean, that team.
You know what? Do not write off the Rams either.
Oh no,
like
they're slowly getting there.
Real talk.
With your boy Nick Foles, really?
I mean, not even just that. Like, what's Todd Gurley gonna do? You know what I mean? That defense is pretty damn great. Just saying. Don't write them dudes off.
Do you think
Jeff Fisher's been building that team?
Week one, Seahawks versus Rams in St. Louis. You picking the Rams?
Yeah, I am actually.
Not a bad pick.
I am.
If they're gonna do it, that'd be early on while Seattle's having offensive issues.
Now we go to the NFC South. Philip.
I got Seattle too, by the way. I don't know if I said that.
But Philip, NFC South.
NFC South. Put them all in a hat and grab one. I mean, that's what every year it seems like that. I don't know, man. The Saints got major holes. The Falcons, who knows? I think I don't know. Panthers don't have a receiver. I mean, they got rookie. I got to think, because I like the Panthers' defense for the most part. I got to think the Panthers edge it out. I mean, I guess you could say this like Drew Brees finds a way, but I don't know, man. I guess the Panthers probably 7-9-1 again, or 6, whatever it was, 7-8-1.
Marquine,
but this is gonna rock y'all world right here.
You're gonna pick the Buccaneers.
I'm gonna pick the Buccaneers.
Oh my God,
Jameis.
Why?
You know why? That's why. And Vincent Jackson. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. Hey, two big guys for two big receivers for him to just loft it up to. That's perfect for a rookie QB. He's already he's not where he needs to be, obviously, but he'll get better as the season goes along. If Doug Martin's looking like rookie Doug Martin. Y'all see him in preseason?
Oh yeah, he looks great. I've drafted him.
And very quietly, that defensive front is very good. Gerald McCoy is every bit as good as anyone. And also, he's a really cool dude. I met him at a battle rap event a few years ago. Really cool guy.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, like dog, they're better than a lot of people think.
That offensive line, don't worry.
Bold
of course it does. But I'm just saying.
Hey, don't talk about Logan Mankins like that.
Man, he is not your Logan Mankins. Like, he's not that guy.
He's dropped down for sure.
Like at first it looked kind of crazy them getting, but now I see why they did it. He is not the same.
Of course, Billy Trust, son.
I like your pick. I think it's bold, but I'm gonna make a slightly less bold. But I'm gonna pick the Atlanta Falcons to win this division.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. You really think they gonna actually tackle the quarterback this year? You think that's gonna happen? Dan Quinn
is their head coach. Dan Quinn, when he was defensive coordinator at Florida, everyone thought that he'd make for the perfect head coach. And then he went to become the defensive coordinator of one of the best defenses we've ever seen. The problem with this team for years was that they were too soft. They didn't tackle well. The coverage wasn't great. I think if anybody's going to bring that toughness to them, it's going to be the guy that's orchestrated some of the toughest defenses at the NFL and at the college level over the past 5 years. And then on the offense, there's a guy named Kyle Shanahan, who people seem to forget works for Atlanta now. What does Kyle Shanahan do? He makes his offenses a lot better, especially the number one receiver. He got Andre Johnson his best years in Houston. He got Pierre Garçon to have a 113-catch season 2 years ago. And last year, he did a really, really good job with the Browns offense that didn't have a lot of talent. Julio Jones is going to blow up this year. I think Julio Jones is going to be the best wide receiver in football this year. And Matt Ryan's a talent. So the defensive line concerns I'm not worried about.
Vic Beasley. Marquis.
Vic Beasley, true.
Yeah, I hear both of you, Vic Beasley.
I thought you were going to say something.
Why? You don't like the lazy asshole?
Yeah, that's where it was going.
Well, I don't know. Maybe he'll be less money. I mean, he'll be less lazy.
Less
I don't know
money.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe he will, but I doubt it. He's getting paid millions of dollars now. He might just be lazy.
Millions of dollars.
But yeah, that's my reasoning for the Falcons pick.
All right, so that means the Saints are going to win this division.
Exactly.
They're the only ones we didn't pick. So
Wait, Phil, you didn't pick the Saints. Oh, that's right, you picked the Panthers.
yeah, I
Oh,
picked the Panthers.
wow, none of us picked the Saints. Damn. That. All right,
all wrong.
last one, the NFC East.
Jesus Christ.
I think this is clear. I think I'll go first. I'll go first. I think the Eagles looked like the best NFL team in the preseason. I think they look like the best team in football.
That's
and I know Markeem doesn't want to believe in them because he hates that Chip Kelly got rid of a bunch of his favorite players, but I think that offense looks a lot better. And that defense, quietly, everyone's talking about Sam Bradford. That defense looked really good. Like Walter Thurmond and frickin' Byron Maxwell and all these guys in the secondary were hustling. Even Nolan Carroll, who was stiff in Miami, was doing a lot better. So I like the Eagles this year a lot.
So you got the Eagles winning?
Yep. Phil, what about you?
I got Dallas. Dallas should win it. They have the most talent. They should win it. And anything else wouldn't be. I don't know what I was trying to say, but
yeah, I feel
but yeah, I just think Dallas wins it. I mean, Philly's gonna, should be right there, but and then that other team I'm not gonna mention.
All right, Markeem, you're next. Who's winning the NFC East?
I guess the Cowboys, but I don't know, man. Because if you think about it, they lost to Marco Murray, which was a big part of what they did last year. Tony Romo's back has gotten worse. You know what I mean? Something to think about.
That's true.
I don't know, man. I guess it's them just because they did it last year. Whatever.
Why?
And the Eagles, I'm sorry, man. Sam Bradford, y'all really gonna count on him staying upright. Mark Sanchez is the backup. You know what I mean? That defense, they look better. Okay, fine. But how much better? You know what I mean? I still don't trust this team.
They're cursed anyway because they cut Tim Tebow.
Oh, Jesus.
They got my boy Stephen Morris.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Is Stephen Morris a better NFL quarterback than Tim Tebow?
Yeah.
Wow.
Whoa. That's a little stretch.
Really, Phil?
Quick Tebow take.
We haven't seen anything from Stephen Morris.
Quick Tebow take. What did you think of his preseason from what you saw of it?
He was absolutely terrible. He just played against third stringers. He was awful. Phil, he was awful. If we're grading him, if we're grading, honestly, let's be honest now. If we're grading him on the scale of an NFL quarterback, he was awful. The one big play that everybody brought up, that deep pass, he was about as late can get on a deep throw. That should have easily been a touchdown. If I threw that pass, that would have been a touchdown, bro. You know what I'm saying? The receiver had 4 steps. Should have been a touchdown. You know what I'm saying? Come on.
While I agree, I do still think you're being a little too harsh on him. But
Phil, he was awful.
I'm not saying that he was trying to cut him. No, I'm not going that far. But he was better than Barkley.
What are we judging though? 'Cause you got to remember, Barkley had a game where he in terms of just a single performance, he had the best performance of any of those quarterbacks in one of those games.
Yeah, he did. It's true.
You know what I mean? What are we judging him by? He was bad. He was
a guy that hasn't
bad.
played in hasn't played in 2 years. I mean,
and that's why he should just give up the stupid dream of being a quarterback. Dude, it's not going to happen.
All right. Now we move on to
I'm just glad he's back on the SEC network. That's where he should be. That's what he does best. I don't mean to be rude, but he's awesome at that. Just stop it.
he is very good.
all right.
Everyone, hold on. See, kid, he got me started. Everyone has a dream, right? Everyone has a dream. His dream was to be an NFL quarterback, and he got to do it. Move on. It might just not be meant to continue. Just move on.
Yeah,
it's okay.
He led a team to the playoffs and got a playoff win. I mean, how many quarterbacks can say that? So
exactly, and just ride off into the sunset.
Yeah, take it and roll with it.
He'll always have Pittsburgh.
Exactly. He's like Al Bundy. Yeah, he always has those 4 touchdowns. You ever watch with children?
Yeah, I've heard about it. Yes.
Nice reference.
All right, Markeem. AFC, you have 2 extra playoff spots. You have Colts, Patriots, Ravens, Broncos. Just pick 2 more.
Oh, Jesus. I'm trying to think of everyone division by division.
You have still left the Chargers, the Chiefs, the Dolphins, the Jets, the Bills, the Bengals, the Steelers.
I'm gonna go Chiefs and Texans.
So no love for all those AFC East teams that you thought improved.
Yeah, but nah, like they ain't that much improved. I think it's like the SEC. They're gonna beat each other up.
I actually agree with you. I don't think anybody is gonna get swept. Like maybe the Patriots will sweep the Jets, but literally aside from that, I don't think anybody will get swept. I don't think the Patriots are gonna win next week. I don't think the Patriots are gonna sweep the Dolphins. So I think everyone's going to have like a 3-3, 4-2 division record. That's fair.
Agree.
Markeem, you have 2 more NFC spots. You remember you also don't have the Seahawks, but you still.
Yeah, no. So obviously the Seahawks.
And then your last spot, you have the Rams, the Lions, the Vikings, the Giants, the Eagles, the Saints.
I'll go with the Eagles very tentatively.
Okay, so if you had to pick a notable snub, like obviously we could just deduce it, but like in your opinion, like a team that like maybe gets some hype or some press that you don't think is going to make the playoffs this year, that most people would probably have making the playoffs.
I mean, like either the Ravens or the Bengals in the AFC. Yeah, I mean,
you don't have the Bengals or the Steelers, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the Steelers, yeah, or one of those AFC East teams.
Steelers is probably the big one. So you don't think the Steelers make the playoffs based on what you saw today?
Yeah, like I'm overreact. That's right. I'm overreacting to week 1.
Overreacting.
That was pathetic. That was so bad.
It was pretty bad.
It was pathetic, man.
Phil, you got 2 more spots in the AFC. You have Colts, Patriots, Bengals, Broncos. Who you give the 2 spots to?
AFC, I will probably be completely off, but what the heck. I'm going to go with Chargers as one of mine. Mm-hmm. And the other one, I said it last year and they didn't do it, and I shouldn't even give them props because they're in the same division, but Dolphins, come on, son. You got to go to the playoffs with that defensive line. Come on, son. That team's got to get there this year. They should have been there last year, but whatever. So, yeah. Obviously, I don't want to see them in the playoffs. That's a scary team if they get in the playoffs, I'm just saying.
The NFC. By the way, Markeem told me, like, when they first signed in Ndamukong Suh that the Dolphins could make the AFC Championship game.
And then I came to my senses. When I thought about who fucking Ryan Tannehill is going to be throwing the ball to.
He's going to be throwing it to his newly acquired first-round draft pick, Devontae Parker, his receiver who might get over 100 receptions this year in Jarvis Landry, his extremely talented running back out of the backfield in Lamar Miller, and you just have Kenny Stills and Jordan Cameron. Did
you just okay, there you go, extremely talented. There we go. But did you?
I wouldn't use Kenny Stills in your argument, kid.
Did you just say Lamar Miller is extremely talented?
Yes, he is, motherfuckers.
Lamar Miller.
He's good, kid, but come on now.
Fuck you. He's a lovely Miami-Dade County talent.
Jesus.
All right, actually, is it? Yeah, no, he is. All right, Phil, you got 2 more spots in the NFC. You have Cowboys, Panthers, Packers, Seahawks.
Cowboys, Panthers. Cowboys, Panthers, Packers, Seahawks. Wild cards, I'm going to go with... I'm going to go with Eagles, and I'm going to go with a sleeper pick and go with the Vikings.
I like that.
Teddy Bridgewater, AP. AP is going to come out with a vengeance this year. I think it's enough to get. AP was enough to get into the playoffs once. I think it's going to happen.
That is very, very. You know what? No, I'm not going to change it. But I didn't think about that. I did not think about that.
I really like Teddy. I think he's going to have a good year, which he did last year.
So who is your
that awkward release still scares me. He still releases the ball too low, but I mean a lot of dudes overcame that. You know what I mean? Like Phillip Rivers overcame that, so I don't know. He might.
So who's your notable snub? Probably
my snub, I honestly we haven't really talked much about him, but I think a snub because a lot of people just apparently think they're going to get better this year is the Giants. Like I think that all of us have pretty much snubbed the Giants. So I mean, it's like, well, until you pick, I guess. But I just think the Giants are. I mean, a lot of people would think that's a snub. I mean, I don't have Ravens or Steelers making the playoffs, so that's a snub.
Or the Cardinals.
Cardinals. That was, like I said, Cardinals Vikings will be fighting for that last spot there.
So let's give you a snub that me and Markeem don't have, because his is the Steelers and mine is the Ravens. So
I would say the Giants. I mean, that's what I think.
I think the Cardinals are more playoff.
Cardinals. Okay.
Yeah.
I think the Giants offensively they're good, but I don't trust that defense, man.
Yeah, I
don't.
My final playoff teams, I'm obviously putting the Dolphins in the AFC. I will not pick them to win the division with confidence, but I just have to think they got to win the playoffs this year, man. Like, it just doesn't seem possible. We've gotten so excruciatingly close the past 2 seasons, and we got much better. Like, I just don't see how this doesn't work out. Like, I don't. The only way it doesn't is if we struggle early and the team gives up on the coach. Like, I literally think that's the only way.
And can I just say really quick, I'm tired of people like making fun of Ryan Tannehill. That dude is actually pretty goddamn good.
Yeah.
That's getting on my nerves. Like people including him in like those bad quarterback conversations. Like, no, like leave him out of that. That dude is actually really good. Stop the bullshit.
Top 15 in the league.
He's a stud.
Like, just stop the bullshit.
He's a stud.
He's gonna have a good year. But he is good.
He's, better than the other Texas A&M product that came after him.
Johnny Bench.
That's crazy to think about.
So that's Dolphins and Chiefs for me. NFC side, I have Packers, Seahawks, Falcons, and Eagles. I will put in the Cowboys, and actually, no, I'll put in the Vikings and the Cardinals.
Cowboys missed the playoffs?
Cowboys out of the playoffs. Cowboys out. No, I've been thinking. I liked Phil's. I said Phil. I told Phil as soon as he picked the Vikings. Oh yeah, I like that too. I do think. I honestly, for me also, it's Mike Zimmer. I think Mike Zimmer is one of the best coaches in the NFL. I think he might win Coach of the Year this year. I think he's just very, very good at getting the team to buy into his system. I mean, look at that. Look at what the Bengals defense looks like now without him. It looks drastically worse, and it's largely the same roster. Like I just think that they have a lot of talent on offense, and I think they have a very underrated defense. They have guys like Harrison Smith, like Anthony Barr, like Everson Griffin at all 3 levels of the defense, and these are really good impact players. And I think you'll find a way to get it done amidst a tough division. And the Cardinals, Bruce Arians. I mean, it's hard not to trust him to make the spot. I mean, realize that Bruce Arians has won at least 10 games with the Cardinals ever since he became their head coach. Because he's super impressive. So I think the Cardinals make it barely. My notable snub would be the Ravens. Before we get to
your notable snub is the Cowboys.
I would think the Ravens would be a bigger.
No, that's a huge snub.
No. Some people think the Cowboys might be in the Super Bowl.
You don't even have
Mortensen had the Ravens in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, so I don't know, but I would say
I agree they're both big, but still, I think Cowboys.
I'll say Cowboys only because I'm not the only one to snub the Raven out of the playoffs. So I guess that would be the tiebreaker. I like the Cowboys this year. I think they're going to win 10, 11 games. I just think it's going to be a tough division. I think the Eagles are going to be that good. Like, I think the Eagles, if Sam Bradford is healthy.
Here you go again with this shit.
Here
you go again with this shit.
But there's nothing, here's the distinction. There's nothing wrong with the evaluation of the roster. It's just, can Sam Bradford stay healthy? And I say if he does, I see no reason why this team can't win 12 games.
Whoa, that's a lot.
So we just gonna act like the Cowboys didn't run a dude that's always injured ragged last year.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Now he's the Eagles running back.
And now
we're gonna act like losing Jeremy Maclin is nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I will act like losing Jeremy Maclin is nothing when you have Nelson Aguilar and Jordan Matthews playing a bigger role.
How good is Nelson Aguilar?
The reason why I have the Chiefs in the playoffs is because I do think Jeremy Maclin will be a big difference maker for them. I think he changes a lot of their offense. And that's why I think they'll make it.
And truth be told, he got hurt a lot too. So who's to say he even, But I'm just saying, man, this, it just does not look good, man. It just doesn't. Do not be shocked if this team you hire on And you think you're gonna win like what 12, 13 games.
I said, okay, look, well, it's obviously if Bradford tears his ACL in week 5, then like, oh, okay, like obviously, like I wouldn't predict 12 wins after that, but Bradford's looking good, man. Bradford's looking good.
Yeah, that's fine. He always does when he plays. He always does.
Chip Kelly, the art of sports science, the master of keeping his players healthy.
Yeah, the master of keeping his players healthy, even though Nick Foles got the shit beat out of him started. Like, come on, man. Like, I'm just saying, like, I like Chip Kelly. Don't get me wrong. I'm probably a bigger Chip Kelly fan than a lot of motherfuckers. But since when did he become Bill Belichick or Bill Walsh or fucking Vince Lombardi or Tom Landry? Like, when did that happen?
People question Bill Belichick's moves until they work. So if Chip Kelly can make it work.
But even before that, like he was a very respected assistant. Like even before he was ever a head coach. Hey, let's be real. Chip Kelly coached Oregon to underachievement in his college football level, and then he gets to the NFL. We act like he's Bill Walsh. We're like he's Don Shula or some shit. Like what the fuck?
Chip Kelly's a genius. Now
he's unproven, bro. It's like, you know what it's like? It's like when John Cena let Kevin Steen pin him. Like we know how good he is, but he still was unproven in WWE. Like those fans had no idea what to think.
So you're saying that
and they were just happy. No, I'm not saying it was a bad thing. I'm just saying like he was unproven.
All right.
Like we didn't act like we knew Kevin Steen was going to be a main eventer. People are just sure that Chip Kelly's going to be this great coach. Like they're just sure.
All right, he's a genius. So in the 2000 for the awards, I think very clearly we should each give a vote, and we will have our official picks for each one: MVP, Coach of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Comeback Player of the Year, Offensive Rookie, Defensive Rookie. Simple.
We didn't do Super Bowl. You're waiting for that.
I wanted to close with that.
Right. Just make sure.
All right, so MVP, my vote goes to Andrew Luck for all the obvious reasons. What are your 2 votes?
I'm obviously not going to do that because everyone expects me to do that, so I'm not. Jokes on y'all. I'm going to go outside the box a little bit. Dez Bryant.
Really?
Because dig it. Think about this, okay? He is in a position now where he could be the Michael Irvin type dude on that offense. When I say that, I mean like everyone know how good Emmitt Smith was. What he did, but Michael Irvin was really the thing that made the offense go. And now I think it's kind of up to Dez Bryant to do that. And he's way more talented. And all the old heads can come at me. I don't give a shit. He's way more talented than Michael Irvin his pinky. He's way more talented than Michael Irvin will ever be, bro. Will ever was. Like just what Dez Bryant is now. That motherfucker's incredible. And he'll have that similar type of role, which means his numbers should be off the charts.
Phil? But Markeem, was it a catch?
Me personally, I didn't think so, but whatever.
I didn't think so either. Oh, I'm not alone. Anyways, I was just making a joke. I honestly don't know. I feel like I'm going to make a homer pick, but not Brady. I'm going to go with Gronk. I don't know.
I like that. Well, he's the current league MVP.
Yeah.
Like we both know that's not going to happen. And if Dez Bryant does it, he'll be the first wide receiver to win that award, I think.
Wow.
I believe.
The tight end
I can't think of anyone else.
I
don't think.
If a wide receiver's never won it, I can't believe a tight end's ever won it.
I can't think of a wide receiver. If y'all can.
Another sleeper pick I was thinking of, just to throw it out there, was Adrian Peterson.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. That's my pick for. Well, never mind. We'll talk about it.
We need to settle on one.
Yeah, I don't know how we're gonna do that.
I guess Adrian Peterson, since that's the closest thing we've gotten to a consensus.
All right, Adrian Peterson.
Like the other different things can also just stay in the exact same spot. Like I'll say like AP and then like the other people we considered like Luck, Dez, Gronk. Coach of the Year, my vote is for Mike Zimmer for the reasons I was saying earlier. Y'all?
Coach of the Year.
Mine's is Lovie Smith.
Ooh. Oh well.
You had the Bucks. Yeah, it makes sense. You had the Bucks.
Phil?
By default, I think my only get this is literally a shot in the dark, but by default because they make the playoffs and they probably end up being like a number 1 seed or whatever. I'm gonna go with Gary Kubiak being coach of the year.
I like that.
Wouldn't that be some shit? I'd be so upset.
Why?
God, I'd be so upset because he's not that fucking good, man.
Yeah, it's clear that
So upset.
Hey man, he had a good run with the Ravens as an OC.
That is crazy. That is bananas. I'd be very upset. I'd be very upset, man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
So who's our consensus?
Not Kubiak, goddammit. Anyone else?
Phil.
Who's the guy you chose, kid?
Mike Zimmer.
I'll go with what you said.
Yeah, we'll go with Zimmer. Fuck Gary Kubiak, man.
Why?
Hey, he's better than John Fox.
I agree.
Is he really?
Yes. John Fox is an idiot. I'm sorry. I've always said that.
I don't know.
Always
man.
said that.
They both suck.
Poor Peyton Manning. Peyton's been dealing with terrible head coaches his entire career, except for Tony Dungy. Literally,
that's
entire
it.
career.
Like, literally, that's it.
Like literally, he had Jim Mora, who wasn't good at the NFL level. Then he had Dungy. Then he had Jim Caldwell. Then he had John Fox, and now he has Gary Kubiak.
I wouldn't say his whole career. Like he had Dungy for most of it.
He had Dungy
Outside for like what, 4 years?
Yeah,
4 years.
4.
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah, it wasn't that long.
Phil,
Because he had
Dungy retired
Yeah.
right after the Super Bowls.
Never mind. I'm clouded.
It's just poor Peyton. He has all these, but like especially recently, Jim Caldwell, John Fox, and Kubiak, coaches that like get conservative and blow it. Although Kubiak's more of a risk taker, but these are coaches that blow in-game situations, and then Peyton gets all the blame. It's just unfortunate. All right,
It is. It's so unfortunate.
my defensive player of the year is going to be Ndamukong Suh.
Of course.
Well, because I think once the Dolphins make the playoffs, I think he's going to get all the credit. Probably rightfully so.
yeah.
Well,
Other options? Who would your other votes, suggestions be?
I'm gonna go with J.J. Watt winning that back-to-back.
Oh, look at Marquise. Mine is slash. It's either J.J. Watt or in a wild card, Jadeveon Clowney. He comes out of nowhere. If he's the beast that he is, he'll win MVP. If he's not, he'll be hurt again.
I think that Bill O'Brien should just let him play with his hand on the turf, rushing the QB like he did in college. Just do it. Just let him do it. Fuck that. Fuck that linebacker shit. Like fuck that. Like fuck that, man.
So I presume our mutual pick here would have to be J.J. Watt.
Yeah, J.J. Watt. Yeah, it was between him or Clowney. That's
probably correct. Comeback player of the year. My vote goes to Sam Bradford because if I'm going to be high on the Eagles, he should probably get it.
Jesus. Adrian Peterson is mine.
I was like, can AP win comeback player of the year?
I guess if Adrian Peterson's our MVP, he may have to win comeback player of the year as well. Phil, do you have another vote? Another guess?
AP was going to be my comeback. Yeah.
All right.
I was going to ask you that.
I know when people hear that Dez Bryant thing, they're going to kill me. I don't care. Like, just think about what I said.
Yeah, you gave good reasons.
But Michael Irvin, son, you stepping on some Cowboys fans.
All right.
It's true, though. If they think about it, they'll know I'm right.
These are a little tougher to predict, especially defensive. So let's start with that one. Defensive Rookie of the Year. My vote would be to Vic Beasley because I think the Falcons' defense is going to get so much better.
Fucking shit.
I thought about Leonard Williams because he'd be replacing Sheldon Richardson for a bit, but I'm going to go with Vic Beasley.
Holy fucking shit.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
That is not going to be the consensus because I refuse.
Why? Because he's lazy?
Yeah, you'll see. You'll see.
Here, I'll read you the first round to remind everyone.
Do that.
Active defensive players who are drafted. Just to remember, there was Leonard Williams, then Vic Beasley, then Trey Waynes, Danny Shelton, Kevin Johnson, Eric Armstead, Marcus Peters, Bud Dupree, Shane Ray, Shaq Thompson, Byron Jones, and Demarius Randall.
I'm gonna go with Shane. I'm gonna go with Shane Ray because he's probably in a position to get a lot of sacks.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with him.
I also considered Randy Gregory, but I think Shane Ray is a better choice.
I was about to say that was gonna be my.
Oh yeah, him too.
Sleeper.
Him too.
Randy Gregory is gonna be my sleeper pick for that.
So we'd have to consensus.
Either him or Danny Shelton was the other one.
So Markeem refuses to pick Vic Beasley, so that leaves us with Shane Ray or Randy Gregory.
I don't care.
I'm leaning towards Shane Ray because he has the better coordinator.
Where did he go again?
Broncos.
Missouri.
Broncos. That's what I thought. Yeah.
Oh, that's college. Okay.
No.
So you cool with that, Phil, for Shane Ray?
Yeah, Shane Ray's good. Denver, I forgot he went to Denver. That makes it even more.
All right, last one. Offensive Rookie of the Year. My vote goes to Amari Cooper, but I strongly considered Amir Abdullah, but I think Amari Cooper's just going to get like 1 million touches.
I got mine.
What's yours?
Marcus Mariota.
You think so?
Rookie of the Year. Yep. I think he's going to do pretty good.
You must think the Titans are going to win like 5 games then.
I mean, he can look great and they can still suck. I mean, you can't put up 40.
man, I don't know, man. Like,
but Amir Abdullah is a really good one. I've heard really good things about him.
Well, Markeem, if you have the Bucs making the playoffs,
Jameis Winston,
you kind of have to put.
Actually, I was not.
Who are you gonna put?
My pick was Todd Gurley. I think if he stays healthy, he can rush for like almost. I think he rushed for almost 1,500 yards, man.
Wow.
No,
I don't think you realize how good he is, kid.
Todd Gurley's a beast. I know
how talented he is.
He's a beast.
I can understand that pick. But very quickly before we decide, Markeem, you said earlier that you weren't sure about Mariota. Like, I know you had your concerns about him adjusting. Have you been watching the preseason? Any thoughts?
Yeah, like he still needs. You know what I'm saying? He's still not ready. Like, he had some really bad, like, periods in the preseason, man. Like, it's going to be a struggle for him, man. I just don't know if I can just... And so did Jameis, but, like, it's going to be a struggle for him, man. I'm really concerned because I like that dude a lot.
So, Marcus, Gurley, Cooper. This, more so than all the other awards, seems like we're the most at odds.
I'll lean towards Gurley if it makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, like the Amari Cooper thing is safe because of David Carr.
Yeah.
Derek Carr,
yeah.
I want David Carr. Why did I do that?
David Carr back in the league. Getting sacked again.
Because
somewhere David Carr's being sacked.
So,
that's hilarious.
I'm compelled enough by the Todd Gurley pick to move towards it if Phil supports it as well.
Yeah, I support it. David.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll go with it.
Todd Gurley and Shane Ray. That's a good combo. So you have it. Our group consensus picks are Adrian Peterson will be MVP, Zimmer Coach of the Year, J.J. Watt Defensive Player of the Year, Adrian Peterson Comeback Player of the Year, Todd Gurley Offensive Rookie of the Year, Shane Ray Defensive Rookie of the Year. Let's monitor how these go throughout the season. All right, finally, Super Bowl game, Super Bowl winner. We can go one by one. I'll go first since I've been going last lately. My Super Bowl is going to put the Broncos in there for like the 4th year in a row. I have them playing the Packers, and I have the Packers winning the Super Bowl. My reasoning for this. So I think a lot of the other AFC teams are really flawed. I don't trust the Colts. Sorry, Markeem. As good as your boy is, I don't think that coaching staff is good enough to navigate that defense and that offensive line to a Super Bowl. I just don't. I think coaching is a very overlooked factor in determining which team will get to a Super Bowl, and I think people overlook just how bad that coaching staff is. And then you go to the Patriots. This Patriots reeks of a Patriots team that's just going to get bounced in the playoffs. Then you go to the Steelers. We saw tonight why people are skeptical in them. The Ravens, I've already said why I don't like them. The Broncos. I think the Broncos have the least flaws on paper. Yes, the Peyton Manning thing is a concern, admittedly. I've been watching the preseason. Like he doesn't look like he's comfortable in that offense. And his arm still doesn't look any good. But I think that defense could legitimately be the best defense in the NFL. I've been drafting them in all my fantasy leagues. They have a lot. Alright, this is just absurd.
Kid, really? Really?
Do you know how fucking talented that defense is?
I'm well aware, but you think they're better than the Jets? You think they're better than your boys?
Whoa. The Broncos have 1,000,000 times the depth at linebacker than my team does. It's not even remotely close.
But I'm saying, like, y'all have the best defensive line in the league, a solid secondary.
Okay, they have a player who's just as good as Ndamukong Suh on their team with Von Miller. They have one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL.
But is he as impactful as Ndamukong Suh? No, the answer is no.
I think in this system, with Wade Phillips' system, where he can rush more as a 3-4 outside linebacker, yes, I think he can be extremely impactful. I think
no. I have to vehemently disagree, but it's your turn to talk, so go ahead.
Chris Harris and Aqib Talib, and I'm not like the biggest Aqib Talib fan, but Chris Harris and Aqib Talib.
Harris don't see in the championship Talib.
Chris Harris is legitimately one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL. Any metric, I don't care where he was. I don't care that he was undrafted. Look at literally any metric that grades any quarterback.
I say top 10ish. Yeah, I agree with that.
Chris Harris is a phenomenal talent. I think Von Miller, DeMarcus Ware, Shane Ray, Bradley Roby, Aqib Talib, all these guys form a very, very talented group. They have a lot of talent on this team. They have a lot of depth too, which a lot of people don't realize. And I think that this defense is going to be at the very fucking least, and this is just true, I'm sorry, I think the defense is going to be the best defense in the AFC. I don't think the Patriots or the Steelers or the Ravens or the fucking Colts, there's no way you would say any of them would have a better defense than the Broncos on paper. So, since I think
what about I'm saying there's a lot of teams that won't make the playoffs.
Yes.
I agree with you on that. I agree with you on that. But to say the best, maybe the best of the AFC playoff teams, maybe.
I said they could possibly be the best defense in the NFL. I did draft them in all my fantasy leagues, mainly because I think they'll get a lot of sacks, and that's big in fantasy football. But I think this defense is great. I think the offense, there's nothing wrong with it. I think the talent is there. The receivers are good. They downgraded from Julius Thomas to Owen Daniels. I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. And they got C.J. Anderson and Ronnie Hillman back there. They'll be fine. Literally, the only reason why people are hesitant on the Broncos is people don't trust Peyton Manning. People don't think Peyton Manning will hold up. People think Peyton Manning will be the guy that he was in December for all 16 games. I just don't think he will. I think the arm strength is not coming back. It's gotten really bad. And I think he'll find ways.
It never was there.
Well,
it never was there. He always won other ways. Like, he never had a strong arm. He never had Tom Brady's arm. He never did.
That is true. That is true. He's always had a weak arm. And I think that he will just find ways around it. I think most of the struggles now are him learning the offense. I think the Broncos are going to be very much like the Patriots last year. I think they're going to have a rough September. I haven't looked at the schedule, but I think it's just going to be a rough September. And then I think once they start figuring things out, once things start to click a little bit, we'll see them go like on a little bit of a run at the end of the season. And I think it'll be enough to get to the Super Bowl, especially since they'll probably have home field advantage over a lot of these other teams. So I think they'll go to the Super Bowl. The Packers, Markeem, you know this too, like the Packers are at their best when there's injuries or barriers in the way. Whenever the Packers are loaded, ready to go, like in 2012 with the 15-1 season, like last year with their incredible year, they blow it. But whenever there's the injuries and they have to go through that adversity, that's how they won the Super Bowl originally. That tends to be how they play better. I don't think they're going to get a bye. I think they're going to win like 11 games. They're going to lose more than people realize. I think they'll get into the playoffs as like a 3 or a 4 seed. They'll win that first game. Then they'll use that momentum and win on the road, get to the Super Bowl. And then I think in a Packers-Broncos game, as a very fitting end to Peyton Manning's career, he will lose in the Super Bowl once again, merely because Aaron Rodgers, I think the Packers' offensive line is a lot better than it's given credit for. I think it could stymie the pass rush of Denver. And then I think Aaron Rodgers can just start picking on Aqib Talib and other people in the secondary. And to me, it feels like it's the Packers' year. It reminds me very much of the Ravens-Seahawks. The Ravens 49ers. They lost in the championship games, and then the next year everybody picked them to go to the Super Bowl because, to make up for their mistakes. And everyone seems to be doing that again with the Packers and with the Colts. But I don't trust the Colts. But I do think it's time for the Packers, I think. So I think they win the Super Bowl. I think they beat the Broncos. That's my picks. Philip?
Well, my pick's going to be anti.
Yeah, Philip.
First of all, let me just say this. I agree with you on the Colts. I don't see where everybody's hyping them up. I think their offense is going to be great. the defense. Let me see something, because let me just say that defense got destroyed. Airing the footballs or not, whatever they got destroyed, and it shocked me that defense beat Denver. That's the only thing that has the question mark there. But with bias or not bias, I still think that the Broncos are the team that are going to the Super Bowl. I would love. Like I said, I can see the Colts going. I can see the Patriots going. But confidently, like you said, when you make predictions, you have to go on paper. If Peyton can hold it up and get it done, I think they do struggle, like you said too, as well. You pretty much took my whole argument out the way. But I agree with everything you said about the Broncos. But I just think they're the team that you have to pick going into the season. Mid-season maybe my tune changes, but I got the Broncos going to the Super Bowl, and I've got them going against the Packers as well. So
wow,
anticlimactic. That's, you kind of said everything I needed to say. So see Big Rat's conversation for my arguments of it. But the Packers. Do you guys realize this? The Packers were a onside kick away from going to the Super Bowl. Not just a touchdown an onside kick away.
You mean an onside kick away from winning the Super Bowl?
Going to the Super Bowl. All right, the matchup. If it didn't happen, we can't predict it. Okay.
Well, they did play during the season. It's not like they never saw each other. But yeah.
Yes.
But continue. Whatever.
Whatever. We beat. I think Seattle. Seattle was the tougher. The defense is. Anyway, whatever.
Seattle was better anyway, man. Stop it, kid.
Yeah,
the Packers were a worse matchup for the Patriots. The way the receiver,
I disagree.
The way they're off, the Packers would have gotten more separation off Revis and Browner in that second.
Well,
the Seahawks.
Time the fuck out. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah,
dude.
I don't.
If you go back and rewatch the fourth quarter of that Super Bowl, yes, Tom Brady led the offense down in 2 great drives. The main reason why that happened was because the Seahawks offense stalled and Russell Wilson couldn't move the ball, and the Patriots kept getting another chance after chance after chance to get the comeback. Why couldn't they move the ball? Because those receivers could not separate off those cornerbacks. I think those guys in the Packers squad would have been able to get open. Rodgers would have been able to find them open.
That's a bold prediction.
I think that Darrelle Revis would have gave Jordy Nelson the worst day of his life.
I think so too. But
I think that would have been the worst day of his career.
All right,
it would have. But anyways, it would have been his Montreal screw job, pretty much. It would have been the worst day.
But anyways, that. And I have the Broncos winning not the Broncos winning. I have the Packers winning as well. The Jordy Nelson thing is going to be, like I said, mid-season things may change, but going in, I had the Packers anyway. AFC team was kind of up for grabs, but every time you think the Broncos aren't going to, when the Broncos aren't the clear favorites, it's I don't think they're the clear favorites, but I think they're going to make there's no way they can drop a dud like they did against Indy. I still can't believe that happened. But, so I think Packers beat the Broncos.
Markeem, close us out. Give us your Super Bowl. Give us your winner.
I got Seattle doing it the hard way, getting to the game again for the 3rd straight year, which is amazing.
That'd be impressive.
But
first time that happened since the Bills, wouldn't it? I guess.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, I got them doing it the hard way though, because I told you I don't think they're going to win the division.
Yeah, they're in a wild card spot.
And the AFC is tough for me. And Phil's gonna love this, but mark it out. Coming into the season, I just gotta go with the Pats, man, because I think if Gronk is healthy, I think there's no force on the earth that can stop them from scoring in the fourth quarter. With Rob Gronkowski, I think there's nothing on earth that can stop them, scoring in that dude. Okay, I'm just going off on a mini tangent. That people don't understand how hard it is in the fourth quarter what you got to do with that well conditioning. A tight end can just change everything. Tony Gonzalez used to do it for the Chiefs. If y'all remember, they won a lot of close games. The Chiefs, they hardly ever made the playoffs, but they were always a tough game because of Gonzalez. You know what I mean? And Gronk is the new Gonzalez, man. He just in the fourth quarter. He ignites everywhere, man. There's no force on earth that could stop him. I think just for that reason alone, I don't even think they're gonna have home field, and I don't even think it matters. Yeah, I mean, I think just if he's healthy, I think they're in the game. As far as a winner, I guess they alternate this year. I got the Seahawks. You know what I mean?
They run the ball
I guess,
on the.
Yeah, this time they run the ball. I don't know, but I mean it's incredibly
Jimmy
early.
Graham versus Gronk.
Y'all know in a perfect world, I want Eagles and Colts. Y'all know that, but it's not gonna happen.
Or at the very least, Packers Colts.
Yeah, Packers.
Yeah, Packers Colts. But I just don't think it's gonna happen that way.
So why?
But I do think that this is the year where all these motherfuckers say, "Oh, Andrew Luck is overrated," and y'all are overhyping him when he throws for 50 plus some odd touchdowns. I want to know what motherfuckers gonna say then. That's gonna be hilarious. When he has like 5,000 some odd yards.
Why? What is your main reason for not believing in Green Bay? Like, is just Jordy Nelson that important?
Yeah, I just think they won't score as much.
That's fair.
I think there's still a top 5 offense in the league. I think with Jordy Nelson, they would have been top 2. So I don't think they score as much.
And there you have it, everyone.
And I'm be 100% honest with y'all. I'm not picking the Colts because I don't want to jinx them.
Do you trust that coaching staff to get to the Super Bowl?
I think honestly, it does not matter.
It does when you want to win the Super Bowl.
No, I'm being 100% serious. Like, let's put it in perspective. Dan Reeves is a really good coach in the annals of NFL history. I wouldn't even say really good. He's a good coach, made to look a whole lot better because he had John Elway throughout the 1980s. I think Andrew Luck is that guy for Chuck Pagano. I think Chuck Pagano's career is over, people look back on him more fondly than let's say we do. I mean, like if you just look at his career with the success he'll have with Andrew Luck, people will be like, "Oh, he was a good coach," when he really wasn't. And that's what a lot of people say about Dan Reeves.
But Reeves,
he's a really good coach. But he had John Elway.
But Reeves couldn't win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I know. I'm aware.
So what if, Luck gets all these Super Bowl runs, but no title until he's 38 years old.
But Luck don't have to play the 49ers.
No, he just has to play the Seahawks, which is like the modern day dynasty of the 49ers.
Stop it.
But
no.
I mean, you know what I mean. You know what I meant. They're the NFL. They're the NFL dynasty of today.
Markeem, do you think is there any truth to this? Like, Chuck Pagano, if they don't do well this year, could be gone. I've heard some rumors about that.
Yeah, I heard some. If they don't make him the Super Bowl,
him and the GM apparently aren't on the same page.
I hope that doesn't happen though. Seriously.
Of course, they win the Super Bowl. It's all over.
If they don't at least make the conference championship game, I gotta think he's gonna get fired.
We'll see. I don't know who else they're gonna go out there and get better.
Right. But there you have it: Seahawks, Patriots, Seahawks, Packers, Broncos, Packers. Me and Phil both. High five, Phil. Good job.
Right there.
There we go. Got it. But with that, we've concluded our football preview for both leagues. Thank you all. Sorry it was late. I had a computer issue, but that should cover it. And we will have a lot of fun looking over this for the rest of the year.
Hold on. We're not going to pick the games, like, real quick? The games this weekend? We're just going to leave it alone.
Oh, dude, I don't...
Yeah,
y'all just leave...
I was going to say, if I was planning for it, but, like, I literally have no idea what they are. I'd have to look them up for both leagues.
And don't worry about it.
From what I heard, the only college football game to watch is Oregon, Michigan State, and you already said book it. Michigan State's going to kill them.
And LSU and Mississippi State. I got LSU by a lot.
And I just think the NFL Week 1 is kind of really hard to predict. You don't know a goddamn thing.
And the one game that matters already happened, so we're good.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
We all would have picked the Patriots, we promise.
Defending champions.
Even me. But look, it was fun. We got to do this more often because it really is a joy. And we'll see you all in a bit. Bye, everyone.
It's been real. Peace.